Hey everybody, welcome back to another semester on campus. Now obviously we don't know exactly what to expect. It is just the beginning, but we do have a vague idea of what to expect, and so I want to talk about the expectations of what's going to be like this semester for at least the first few weeks, and then I want to talk to you and challenge you about moving forward from there. Now, as of expectations, right now small groups can start. So we're going to start small groups this week. And so if you have a small group tonight, it'll start. If it's going to meet next week, it meets next week. But as you settle into the semester, as you figure out what this semester is going to look like, maybe there's not going to be very many changes. Maybe there's going to be a lot of changes. We don't know, but we're going to give it a week for you to be able to figure that out, because we're not going to be able to have our Thursday worship services this Thursday or the following Thursday. As of right now, for the month of January, those events have to be canceled. But I'm encouraged and believe that we're going to have our first Thursday worship service on February the 3rd. So we're going to be back in person on February the 3rd, which gets everybody about a couple weeks to get settled into the new semester, and then we can move forward. But as for small groups, they are up and running, they're ready to go, get reconnected, and jump right in. Now I want to remind you also that we have our winter retreat February the 18th and 19th, and as of right now that is completely ready to go, and we're still on board for that weekend. And so I'm going to update the website soon. We'll have the information available to you, but I just want to get that out there so that you recognize that we still do have some really cool events coming up. In fact, the winter retreat may be one of the best things, if not the best thing, that we have all year. And so I really highly encourage you to put it on your calendar. Now, the vision and mission of Chi Alpha at St. Louis University is simple. We are here to foster an on-campus family of disciples of Jesus who make disciples of Jesus. That means that we have strong devotional lives, that we're growing in our walk with Jesus. It means that we are connected to one another in community, and it means that we take seriously the mission of God for living for Him and letting other people know that following Jesus is the best decision they could ever make. If there is one thing, however, if there is one thing that COVID has hurt more than anything else, it is the sense of Christian community on campus and in our culture. It's had a huge impact on our lives for at least the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. We have lost a sense of community because we've been so isolated, and there's been so many calls for you to not be around people or to be around them at a certain distance or to restrict the amount of time that you have face to face with people. God calls us to follow Him, but He also calls us to be in community, in relationship with other people, to make Christian friends who become like family members. It is not found anywhere in Scripture where God calls anyone to be alone, to isolate, to find yourselves on the periphery rather than in the very core and center of who He's called you to be in relationship with one another. So here's the challenge. Take the initiative. Don't wait for someone else to take the initiative. You take the initiative to get involved in a small group, to come on Thursdays, to come to the retreats. You take the initiative to hang out with people on the weekends who are a part of Chi Alpha, to make deep friendships. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Show up to small groups ready to engage, ready to pray for one another, ready to really build relationships, because that's what's going to feed your faith more than anything else. I have discovered that my own personal devotional time, where I spend time in prayer and reading Scripture and doing all the different disciplines that build up my relationship with God alone, are hugely important. But what stacks on top of that and makes everything come to life is when I put myself in community with other people who are also seeking to serve and follow Jesus. And when I do that, I find my relationship with God growing the most. Guys, we're not called to be alone. We're called to be in community, together, consistently, committedly. And so I encourage you, take the step. For some of you, it's going to be harder than others, but I guarantee you that when you do that and you do it consistently and people reflect that same kind of consistency back to you, and we gain the momentum of community and fellowship and brotherhood and sisterhood that comes with following Jesus, it can change your life forever. So I'm praying for you. If you ever need anything, I'm always willing and able to meet with you, to talk with you. And I'm going to pray that this is going to be one of your best semesters. Because why? Because Jesus didn't call you to St. Louis University just to get an education. He didn't. He didn't call you here just because he needs you to get an education. He called you here so that he could draw you to himself. And in community, you would grow in your relationship to him and in your ability to be a light onto the rest of campus for his name and for his glory. So God bless. If you need anything, please let me know. And I think it's going to be a good semester. All right. Bye.